The NTSB is holding a public board meeting on January 27th for an update regarding the mid-air collision between a CRJ 700 and a Black Hawk helicopter in January of 2025. What's included in that? Hi, I'm Morgan, and this is an aviation safety update. Before I get started, I would like to say that the analysis that I've done and the slides that I'm showing are based off of the first 50 documents from the NTSB's public docket, which I will link below. There were over 200 documents, so I will have to break this up into sections to cover the full thing, and then I will put all of those together to make one final analysis. I've also created a Google site to host all of the slides or infographics that I show, including a Google form to submit comments, feedback, or topic suggestions. So far, the site only contains the two that I've done so far, which would be the Black Hawk CRJ 700, which I see now has a typo in it. I will correct that mid-air collision, as well as the runway excursion from 2 videos back. Once again, this is an analysis just based off of the first 50 documents listed on the public docket for this topic. So this is the NTSB investigation of a mid-air collision over Washington, D.C., the DCA airport. It involved a Black Hawk helicopter and PSA Airlines flight 5342 on January 29th, 2025. The first page of the slides details some of the different technology that was on board each one of these. So the PSA Airlines flight, which was a CRJ 700, was equipped with Traffic Alert and Collision Avoidance System 2, TCAS 2, and the Black Hawk helicopter was not equipped with a comparable collision avoidance system. So the key point at the bottom, the incident involved 2 aircraft with vastly different flight characteristics and a significant gap in their onboard collision avoidance technology. The next slide details a little bit of the background of the captain and first officer who were operating the PSA Airlines flight, the CRJ 700. They had a combined 157 prior arrivals at the DC airport. So that was 106 for the captain and 51 for the FO. It is worth noting that it states that that crew unfamiliarity with the environment of that specific airport, DCA, was not a contributing factor. This slide documents some of the documented limitations of the TCAS 2 system. So some of the key weaknesses for the TCAS 2 version 7.1. It's optimized for fixed wing aircraft, and the performance logic is not designed for the unique flight dynamics and low altitude operations of helicopters. Vertical advisories only, and it can only command climbs or descents, which may not be optimal resolution maneuver. High nuance alert. It is prone to false or unnecessary alerts in dense terminal areas, which can lead to pilot desensitization or distrust. And installation barriers, the system's cost, size, and need for large directional antenna make it impractical for many smaller aircraft, including most rotorcraft, which would be the helicopter. The next slide talks about ACAS, ACAS XR, which is a new system that was developed to address the gaps with that TCAS 2 system. So it states here that minimum operational performance standards for this system are being finalized, with completion anticipated in Q3 of 2026. So the core capabilities, it has expanded applicability, advanced surveillance, and smarter resolution. And to keep this concise, I'm going to leave it there, but there will be a link. You can go and read the full slides. This system, according to this docket released by the NTSB, offers critical enhancements tailored for rotorcraft operations. So it adds horizontal advisories, optimized for flight dynamics, improves low altitude safety, enables broader adoption. So it says it supports smaller omnidirectional antennas and reduces alert fatigue, which is good for not instilling distrust in pilots, whether that be a helicopter or for an aircraft. This slide details some of the capabilities of this new system that's being developed and approved. And so here are some of the comparable features. So for the TCAS system, the primary aircraft's for large commercial or business jets. And for this new system, it's all types, including rotorcraft and uncrewed aircraft. So I guess that would be drones. Resolution advisories, you can check that out. Operational environment, this is optimized for all environments, including terminal areas and low altitudes. Antenna requirements, support smaller omnidirectional antennas. Alerting logic reduces nuance alerts, so considers terrain and obstacles. And installation, it has a smaller footprint that is designed for broader fleet integration. This slide shows that the U.S. Army was already planning to field a transponder designed for this system. So low rate initial production, LRIP, for this new transponder is scheduled to begin in Q2 of fiscal year 2026. I won't go through all of the details of this slide, but integrating this, I'm saying ACAS XR into the Army fleet was designed as a straightforward software update. So it has an MCX transponder update, leverages existing hardware, and has a flight deck update. Aviation safety research had already identified the risk in high density airspace. So this quote is taken from a dissertation from MIT, which is included, I believe, in the docket documents. So key insights, this confirms that the exact conditions of the incident represented a known gap in the aviation safety net, reinforcing the need for the new technology that is being presented at this public meeting. And this is the final slide. The collision reveals not a failure of personnel, but a gap between systemic risk and the pace of technological adoption. So we've got these 3 key points, and accelerating the funding, certification, and deployment of this new system, which is, I'm still calling it the ACAS XR, for all aircraft operating in shared airspace is a critical and urgent step to prevent future tragedies. Once again, this was an analysis based off of the first 50 documents that are available on the public docket that are being released in preparation for this meeting on January 27th. And those 50 documents seem to focus not necessarily on the mid-air collision itself, but on the adoption and proposed solution for a new technological update that could have alerted both crews of their proximity to one another. And once again, I did link the Google site that contains all of these slides as well as infographics, and there is a link on there to click to submit comments, feedback, or topic suggestions as well. I will go through the other documents because there are over 200 and see if I can get more details and get a different perspective of the conditions which led to the crash, or maybe some of the analysis related to what actually happened.